Are you tired of running around like a chicken with its head cut off? Well, I hope you're saying yes, because actually that's a dead chicken. We need to break the cycle of the hustle mentality because it's keeping you busy, but you're not getting any results from all the energy you're using, and you definitely are not getting things done that are going to help your business grow. But I'm going to help you change that. But before we dive into today's episode, I have something I want to tell you about. I love helping women create routines that make sense for their individual lives so that they can be less stressed and have more time to do what matters to them, whether it's taking care of their family, pursuing their dreams, or all the things in between. And that's why I'm excited to participate in this year's Purpose Driven Mom Summit. It's a free 5-day event with over 40 female speakers, and I want you to join me. The summit will run from March 22nd to March the 26th. Each day is going to be packed with amazing speakers who are ready to help you develop routines in your home, to help you be more intentional with your time, and create some systems and routines for running your business while working from home. My presentation is creating simple routines and systems while working from home. There's a pop-up Facebook group that you can join, and you can find accountability buddies, connect with other busy women, win some prizes, ask the speakers questions, and whatever else we come up with. It's going to be fun. You can attend this summit absolutely free, or you can grab the VIP pass and get all the videos for life and a digital bundle of resources from all of the presenters. I'm going to put a link in the show notes so you can grab your free ticket. And now let's go ahead and get into episode number 54 and talk about how you can stop wearing busy as a badge of honor. Welcome back to the More Than Capable Mompreneur podcast. I'm Shannon Baker, a coffee-loving mompreneur that started as a virtual assistant and turned into a total systems geek. And I want to help you shift your mindset and embrace your worthiness while creating systems in your business so you can be more productive and build success on your own terms without the mom guilt. Are you loving that? Well, I hope you're ready for real conversations that will help you beat the perfectionist inside, rediscover your strengths, and up-level your self-love in the mom cracks of time so you can stop letting fear hold you back, because you are enough and you do enough. We are more than capable mompreneurs. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine, and let's dive in. Why do people seem to take so much pride in saying how busy they are? This was part of the conversation that came up in a Clubhouse room recently, and I wrote it down immediately and decided I needed to do an episode on this topic. Why? Because it's almost like people are competing over bragging rights for who is the busiest. I mean, think about it. We call a family member, a friend, or even when we have virtual coffee chats, once we get through the pleasantries, we ask how things are going. The typical response that you may get is, "I've just been so busy." Have you ever had one of those conversations? But then when you ask what's going on in their lives, most of the time they can't remember what they actually accomplished, even though they're busy, and I'm saying that in air quotes. But think about it. When live events were a part of our way of life, I would hear a lot of different competing statements like, "I can't remember the last time I had a good night's sleep." And the other person would respond and say, "Well, I was up till 3 a.m. working on whatever it is they're working on." Or someone else would say, "Well, I got up at 6 a.m. even though I was up most of the night trying to get ready for what I had that day." Then the conversation would come to me and I would say, "Oh, well, I went to bed at 10:30 and got up at 7, got my day started with my morning routine." And of course, they would look at me like I was growing a third eye or something. It seems to me that people feel like busyness is a badge of honor that means that you're important and successful. But you don't have to be busy to be important, and successful people aren't always busy. So really, it's a mindset shift that we need to make. We need to talk about being more productive and getting things done. So my goal is to influence as many women as possible to get them out of that hustle hard mentality and help them to adapt to a more balanced way of living. So where exactly does this process start? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you don't have a pen and paper handy, hit the pause button and grab one. And if you're driving, just make sure you listen to this episode again when you can take notes. So step 1, you need to put boundaries around your schedule. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of time blocking. because time blocking makes you limit the number of tasks that you work on, and then you determine how long it's going to take and put that block in your schedule and just get it done. And since your priorities constantly change, this method helps you keep up with things so they don't fall through the cracks. Personally, before I started time blocking my schedule, I wore busy as a badge of honor as well. But at the end of the day, I felt like, man, the day has gone and I have absolutely no idea what I accomplished. Time blocking has changed that, and I get way much more accomplished now, and I don't have a never-ending to-do list. So here's how you can frame your week so that you can be more productive. First, write down the time that you get up in the morning and the time that you go to bed. That is the beginning and the end of your framework for every day. Then, identify any non-negotiables in your life, like working hours for your day job, times you have to pick up or drop the kids off, doctor's appointments, meetings, non-negotiable things that you can't change. Then, assign other bite-sized tasks based on what your goal is for the week. But make sure you limit your priorities so you don't schedule too much. Now, if you want more detailed steps to help you give time blocking a try, make sure you go back and listen to episode 4 because I go into details on my process. Now, once you've identified this framework around your schedule, you need to create a detailed plan each week so that you can see what you need to focus on. So be sure to use a paper planner, a digital planner, or even a hybrid method of both like I do. This serves as a visual point of reference that helps you stay focused, and you can check off tasks as you complete them, meaning you see that you're being productive and you're not just busy. Now, if you want to hear more about my hybrid method with my planners, go back and listen to episode 43. I talk about how I use my Passion Planner and Google Calendar combined to plan out my weeks. And no matter what, I highly recommend that you use a digital calendar because then you can sync it with an online scheduler. A scheduling system is one of the 6 core systems that every solopreneur needs to implement in their business to have a strong foundation. So if you want to know what all 6 of those basic systems are, then go back and check out episode number 3. Now back to the scheduling system. It's the key to making sure you don't overbook yourself with calls or anything else. It's also the best way to train people to respect your time so that you can keep work from taking over your life. And the best part, no wasting time back and forth trying to get a meeting scheduled. You send a link to your scheduler, and if your calendar is up to date, then it shows your availability. The person picks the time, schedules the meeting, and they get automatic reminders. You don't have to do a thing. Now, step number 2, you need to make time for the more important things. Stop and think about why you started your business. I'm sure it wasn't so that you would have little to no time for yourself or for your family. And I know it wasn't so that you can work so much that you feel burnt out by your business and you're still in the same place. More than likely, it was so you could work less and live more, right? One of my favorite quotes by Jim Rohn is, either you run the day or the day runs you. So I am giving you permission to decide where you're going to spend your time. And there are some automatic priorities that are set for us, again, like if you work a day job, your hours, times you have to do things for your kids, especially if they're in school, take them to dance, gymnastics, piano lessons, or whatever other activities they participate in. You get my point. But where you spend the time that is left is up to you. We make time for what's important to us, so arrange your days so that you can focus on what's most important to you. And here's the thing. Those priorities change, and that's okay. That's why you have to maintain a holistic viewpoint when it comes to what you're going to spend your time on. That is what creating an intentional business is all about. The key is to figure out what balance looks like for you based on your lifestyle and your goals, and then you work towards that. And no one else can tell you how to manage your time because no one else lives your life. And honestly, I don't know one single person that doesn't struggle with this. Life is constantly changing, which means our priorities change as well. But if you're flexible and you stick to your core values, you literally can just embrace the season that your life is in and create goals that complement that. then based on all the other things that are going on in your life, you can determine what you realistically have time to focus on in your business. This is one thing that if you achieve it is going to make everything else easier. What you have to do is ignore what is going on in everyone else's life and create a plan that allows you to take small steps that have big impact. Now, the third thing you need to do is create some routines in your life. This step goes hand in hand with step number 2. It's a struggle for us to prioritize our health, routinely spend quality time with our husbands, our children, make time for personal growth, grow a business, and all the things that we have to do. But that's why we need routines to help us get things done more efficiently. Now, one routine that sets the tone for me is my morning routine. I wake up, say a prayer, hit the ground running before everyone else in the house wakes up. I love the quiet time. That way I can sip my coffee, read a scriptural text, meditate on it for at least 15 minutes, and then I can decide how I'm going to spend the rest of my morning. Before work, of course. The only thing that changes is where I take my 15 minutes, because some days I go to my parents' house to take care of things for them, or if I have to go into the office for my day job, that just means my 15 minutes of quiet time is usually in my car before I go into the office. But I still have it. Starting the day with intention puts us in a state of mental peace, and we're ready to take on whatever lies ahead in the day, but with less side effects. Not to mention, a lot of what we do is automatic, and that helps us conserve energy. So why not create a process that helps you not only connect more deeply with yourself and with your purpose, but it helps you stay centered. Now let's talk about an evening routine. Having a routine before you go to bed at night is going to help you unwind and get mentally prepared for the next day. It will help you disconnect from work so that you can get a good night's rest. Our laptops, tablets, smartphones, all these things that we are always exposed to generate light that stimulates our brain. So that makes it hard for us to relax when it's time to go to sleep. So pick a time to shut down your tech in the evenings before you go to bed. My goal is always no less than 30 minutes before bedtime that I put my phone down, shut the laptop. When it doesn't happen, I do give myself grace, but I also know that when I break my own routine, it's harder for me to go to sleep. One other thing that is helpful is I use the Do Not Disturb feature on my iPhone, so it automatically hides all notifications and phone calls from 10:30 p.m. to 8 o'clock in the morning. This allows me to sleep through the night, wake up refreshed in the morning, start my morning routine without interruptions as well. And because my day is already planned out in my planner, I can hit the ground running because I know what I need to focus on to be productive. So let's review these 3 steps again. Step 1, put boundaries around your schedule so that you can identify the time that you really have in your schedule for things outside of those non-negotiables. Step 2, make time for the more important things. Be intentional about how you use the remaining time in your schedule. Be sure to select goals that are based on the season that your life is in and create a detailed action plan that you can implement in small steps every day to make progress. And then step 3, create routines in your life so that you can handle all the things that life throws your way. These routines will help you preserve energy, reduce your stress levels because it promotes feelings of order and direction, which they are things that we can control, which is contrary to life in general. So create some routines in your life like right now. So in a nutshell, if you're truly happy with being so busy all the time, then forget everything I've said in this episode. But you have to be honest with yourself about the lifestyle that you want. Either way, be conscious about how much you take on at one time. Don't adopt that hustle mentality, but be intentional about how you spend your time and work smarter so that you build a thriving business and you have time to spend however you want so that you enjoy your life. Now, if you want to know how small steps have a greater impact when working on your goals, be sure to tune in to next week's episode because that is what I'm going to be talking about. So thank you for joining me for this episode this week. You can find links to the episodes that I mentioned in the show notes. And if you enjoyed listening to this episode, please let me know. Take a screenshot, post it in Instagram stories, and tag me at _Shannon Baker. And remember, you are more than enough. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.